It's episode 2 of GWDGAF. And good news is, Robs can't be fucked today, so it's my turn to do it. So here's the news. Thank you, me, for introducing me to do my job. So, if you didn't like all these HD re-releases we're having on all these machines, it's just got a little bit worse. As Bethesda have decided Quake 4, released at the start of the Xbox generation, should be re-released. Here's a quick review I've made of it so that you can see how crap it is.
This is Quake 4 for the Xbox 360 and PC. It's an alright shooter, but I wouldn't recommend it, even at the budget re-release price. 3 stars.
Okay, I'll make short reviews. So, to make this even worse, Sony has also jumped on this bandwagon, and now you can get the entire Resistance trilogy re-released on PlayStation. Again, this is what I think of it.
Still holds up, pretty forgettable, actually really awesome.
Not interesting. In other news, if you like Free Radical for their games like Time Splitters, Time Splitters, nobody remembers Haze, that game was terrible. Good news! 3 of the head developers have split off to make their own studio, with ex-Rare developers as well, just like they did with Free Radical in the first place. So if you're expecting Time Splitters 4, don't expect Time Splitters 4, since Crytek have announced it's not coming. Great news this year. Or week, whichever. Also, if you're wondering why I'm holding this, no reason, just got a text message. But to make matters worse, Nintendo hasn't made much money this year. In fact, they've lost $500 million. Microsoft's also lost a lot of money, somewhere around 200 million. As for Sony, who cares? I mean, nobody cares about Sony. Apple made too much money. Guess where all Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft's money went? This shit. But I will be reviewing shit on this in a moment. Have you noticed a distinct lack of advertisements on this show? That's because we don't have them. But that's not good enough for Microsoft. We've decided, let's add 15 and 30 second blocks of commercials to Xbox Live. Remember, this is the service you pay for. Unlike this, we do it for free. And I am recording in my kitchen. If I do green screen this now, you will see my cutting board right there. Mind you, Microsoft will never do that, so. And that's the news for this week. Not much, because I can't be fucked doing it, and Rob's a lazy cunt. Now reviews that I've done.
Hey, guess what, douchebags? It's 2012. That means it's time for a Mac to get a game from last year that everyone forgot about. That's right, Serious Sam 3, now out on Mac via Steam. Serious Sam isn't exactly the most prestigious first-person shooter franchise around, in that it's not meant to be taken seriously despite its name. And as you can see here, this game doesn't run well on the Mac. This is actually done on my 2011 MacBook Pro. Tell you what, let's rewind this a bit. Just run that back a little bit, and that should just about do it. Now, this is it running on PC. This is how it should run. And for the sake of this review, I'm going to assume you've bought a $5,000 machine from Apple, those stupid fruit-based douchebags, and have committed yourself to a life of misery and pain. But this is still a good reason to review what was a forgotten game of last year, as I've said previously. You play Sam Serious, or at least I think that's his name, and you just basically run around shooting shit. There is meant to be a storyline, not that you'd really pay much attention, because this is a game that was always renowned for towing the retro style of Doom, in that you just run around gunning everything down. This isn't about complex missions, in fact it's just about simple run and gun. Basically, it's Call of Duty without the pomp and circumstance of everything blowing up just to be Michael Bayish, or fucking insulting as Paul reviewed it. But because that's the style they've been going for the whole time, it actually comes off really well. They've focused it to what it should be. Simple, easy fun. Now, it doesn't look quite as good as most modern day shooters, and it will run heavy on pretty much every machine. It's not a very optimized engine, the Series Engine 3, as they call it, or 3.5 in this case. But you can turn it down, don't worry about that. The audio is the usual fare, screaming dudes, lots of explosions, guns, it's nothing really amazing. But the best bit about this game as a whole is that it relives the magic that was Serious Sam 1. We will completely forget Serious Sam 2, which is a complete abortion of what this whole series was about. Provided you ignore the cutscenes, which are there to push the non-existent storyline, as I said before, and ignore all the additional characters, which are just basically pointless add-ons and basically chatter in a microphone that was never there in the first place, you will really enjoy this. There is plenty of variety to be had here. Lots of levels, handling on all the weapons, and the variety of melee attacks that you get. Very impressive, and they do not turn back on the gore or the grandeur that is ripping out a creature's eyeball in the first 5 seconds of the gameplay. Mind you, with all the simplicity, you do end up missing a little bit of the extra complexity that you get in modern day games. This is basically just simple, and the developers know this. It goes for a budget price of $40 new, and it's usually on discount wherever you find it. But at least they are one of the few developers to at least recognize that they don't have a winning Game of the Year game on their hands. So they've done a great job of keeping it understated about the true intentions of this title. It's a quick piece of fun and nothing more than that. And unfortunately, that's why this is a slightly shortened review. It does what it does, but there's not much to it. I can't really go into much detail over it, and nor would you want me. You don't want me describing how the walls look, or why the grass looks slightly weird at times, which it really doesn't. I just made it up because, I'm recording this at 3 in the morning, honestly, so... Hey, crazy reviews. Or in this case, really just boring ones. Because I'm a boring person like that. So with that, I would actually highly recommend this as a purchase. It's a cheap price, and if you like the originals, you'll like this one. If you're after something very complex, just skip it altogether. It's neither a love or hate situation in this sense, and there's not much more that I can say about it than that. Oh, just don't buy it on the Mac. Runs like complete shit, as you saw at the start. That was not a joke. Do not get it on the Mac. They are terrible game machines. Or at least for this one. So you can purchase this little gem off Steam or any other variety of downloadable stores I've seen around everywhere. So go get it. Or don't. I don't really control you anyway. Hey, you got a free mind. Use it. Most other people don't. So here's a little gem from 2009 on the iOS App Store. GI Joyride from Trapdoor Games, or as I call it, How the War Should Have Been Fought. You play a group of drunk Americans who are tasked to get into Paris, and basically all you do is drive in a straight line. This is a very simple iOS game which involves you getting a high score by simply driving as far in as possible. You tilt your waggle-taggly techno device, which we call phones nowadays, and you flip your vehicle around. It's very simple, it's very fun, and it'll keep you addicted for hours. Now, I'm sure it's not the greatest game ever, and I can understand why not many people have heard of it. It doesn't have quite the same addictive abilities as Angry Birds or Jetpack Joyride, but it stands on its own as a really unique take on the World War II genre. It makes it fun and hilarious. Which is things you can't exactly say about Auschwitz and Hitler and Goebbels and all that. Although maybe you can, but hey, I have German heritage, I shouldn't be saying these things. So basically, you race along the randomly generated track, build up experience points, buy new vehicles which allow you to go a bit faster, flip a bit better, and then if you feel inclined, post your scores to Facebook. There's not much more to it than that. I would consider this a very high recommendation for a simple little toy while you're on the train or tram, or whatever you transport by. You could travel by Zeppelin, I don't care. Heck, you could travel by slaves if you want. But 99 cents, you really can't go wrong. It did disappear off the App Store for a while, but it is back and I'm sure it's here to stay. So see one of Trapdoor's first games and experience the glory that is World War II made fun in GI Joyride. So this is me, Jabs, signing out.
That's my opinion. I'm Paul Schindler.
One must wonder with great disappointment as to why I am recycling this footage again. Maybe it's because I'm padding it. Maybe it's just me padding it. But that's how it goes. Rob may have done it last week, but this week it was my boat, and I've proven that I cannot run this ship. And that's it for episode 2 of GWDGAF. I've done it all myself in my spare time. I have no life. Leave the usual comments on the website. I'm sure I'll put them here or here because I'm going to adjust it in post. Fuck yes.